Yes, and I'd just like to say that this is the greatest little Irish show in all of Australia. You'd like to say that? Yes, I'd like to say that I'm not going to. Oh, why not? Because I'm not that big of a liar.
Rowing me shall lay me under me arm and a twinkle in me eye. I'll be off to Tipperary in the morning. Rowing me shall lay me under me arm and a twinkle I'll be welcome in the home I was born in. Mother told me, neighbour, that I'm going to settle down. Fiddle flute is coming round to play me round the town. When me she lay me under me arm and a twinkle in the eye, I'll be off to Tipperary in the morning. Well, if you're Irish, come into the bar. There's a welcome here for you. And if your name is Timothy or Pat, so long as you come from Ireland, there's a welcome on the mat.
I ticked up the telephone and I rang the Irish Airlines. Yes. And I said, is that the Irish Airlines? He said, yes, it certainly is. And I said to him, how long does it take to get from Ireland to Australia? Fair enough, yes. He said, oh, just a minute. And I said, thank you very much, and I hung up. Oh, well, you should have hung onto the phone a bit longer. Well, I tell you what, folks, it took a lot more than a jolly minute to get here, that's for sure.
Yeah, I saw Declan sitting in the bus stop the other day. I said, hey, Declan, you're sitting in the bus stop? He says, yes, I am. I said, would you like a lift? He says, oh, no, I couldn't do that. I said, why not? He said, I might miss me bus. Hello, Patsy Fagan, you can hear the girls all cry. Hello, Patsy Fagan, you're the apple of my eye. You're a decent boy from Ireland, there's no one can deny. You're a rare and scaring, devil may care, and decent Irish boy. Molly says to Murphy, hey Murphy, I can't get the car started. She said, why not? She said, because there's water in the carburettor. He says, Molly, you silly fool, you wouldn't know what a carburettor was. He says, I'll sort it out. He said, now where's the car? She said, it's in the swimming pool. Her eyes are shone like the diamonds. I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. Oh, yes.
They say that leprechauns are very clever people. Yes, very smart people. Ah, to be sure. I'm as sharp as a dolling doll. You mean sharp as a tack? Oh, is it?
Now, McNamara from McNamara's band, he says to Hennessy Tennessee, who tootles the flute. He says, now look, Hennessy Tennessee, he says, you've been drinking too much on the job. He says, I got to tell you got to slow down on your drinking. He says, okay, boss, but I got to tell you, I've decided to give up drinking just 2 days of the month. He says, 2 days of the month. He says, what 2 days of the month would they be, Hennessy Tennessee? He says, the 30th and 31st of February. When the drums go wing and the cymbals clang and the horns it plays away, McCarthy pumps the old bassoon and Doyle the pipes to play. Oh, Hennessy Tennessee tootles the flute and the music is something grand. Creator to Old Ireland is McNamara's band. I said to Murphy the other day, I said, how you been going, Murphy? He says, guess what? I said, what? He says, I joined the Procrastinators Club. I said, the Procrastinators Club? How's it going? He says, I don't know. We haven't had a meeting in 2 years. Oh, it's the biggest mix-up that you have ever seen. Me father, he was orange, and me mother, she was green. Baptized by Father Riley, I was rushed away by car to be made a little orange man, me father's shining star. Christened David Anthony, but still in spite of that, to me father I was Billy, while me mother called me Pat. Paddy goes into the milk bar and he says, hello there, and the fella says, hello there. He says, what sort of milkshakes have you got?
He says, strawberry and chocolate. He says, oh. He says, you got laryngitis. He says, no, only strawberry and chocolate.
Hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises early in the morning. Shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor early in the morning. Hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises.
Mary says to McGillicuddy, hey McGillicuddy, go up to the supermarket and get me a carton of milk. He says, okay, I'll go up to the supermarket and get you a carton of milk. And then Mary says, McGillicuddy, he says, yes. He says, if they have any avocados there, get 6. He says, right, I'll do that. He come back home with 6 cartons of milk. She said, why did you get 6 cartons of milk, McGillicuddy? He said, well, they had some avocados there.
Now the Lord seen some sin and it gave him pain. He said, stand back, I'm gonna make it rain. He said, hey, brother Noah, I tell you what to do. Build me a floating zoo and take some of them green alligators along their geese. Some humpy-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, don't you forget that unicorn.
Little Danny, he's had a few too many and he staggers out of the pub and he staggers along the street and I was following him along there, you know, and he got to the church, he got to the Catholic church and I couldn't believe it, but he walked into the Catholic church and he wanders down the aisle there in the Catholic church and I'm looking at the door and I'm watching him staggering down the aisle, 1 step forward, 3 steps back, he's as drunk as a skunk. And he goes down and guess what he did? He went into the confessional box. Yes, he sat in the confessional box there. And then after a while, well, the priest, of course, the priest came in. And I'm standing at the door watching what's going on, you know. And the priest came in, and the priest is sitting there and all is quiet. And then the priest rattled on the grate, you know, speak to me, speak to me. And all of a sudden a little voice came in, back from Patty, saying, forget it, mate. There's no paper in here either. Muldoon says to Paddy, hey Paddy, he says, how you going? He says, no good. He says, you know why? He says, I've given up smoking, drinking and going out with wild women. He says, how's it going? He says, it's the longest 20 minutes I've ever been through. I always like to wear 2 pairs of trousers, yes? I always like to wear 2 pairs of trousers when I play golf. Oh, 2 pairs. Why would you want to wear 2 pairs of trousers when you play golf? Seamus O'Sparky? Well, it's in case I get a hole in one.
I'm a parching, go to the watching, and I got money and acres of land. I'm looking for a honey with a little bit of money. Catch me, can my name is Dan man. I like the Kayla, the stack of barley. I like the waltzes, all the old chicks and the reeds. I like the swinging, Big Danny singing. Catch me, can my name is Dan man. Now I'm up to this honor in the year. I'm up for a bit of crack, oh, woman of the year. I'm awful shifty for a man of 50. Catch me, can my name is Dan.
street, and Paddy says to Michael, "Hey, Michael, what you got in the bag there?" He says, "These are little special things." He says, "What are they, Michael?" He says, "They're called smart pills." "Oh, smart pills. Could I have a smart pill, please, Michael?" He says, "Sure, Paddy. Here, dip into the bag and take one." He dips into the bag. "Oh, yes." He says, "Michael," he says, "Yes, Paddy." He says, "Could I have another one of those smart pills, please?" He says, "Yes, sure. Dip into the bag and take one." Here we go. Here. He says, "Hey, Michael," he says, "Yes, Paddy." He says, "These little smart pills you're giving me," he says, "they sure do taste like sheep's manure to me." He says, "See that, Paddy? You're getting smarter already." Paddy's getting into bed, and Mary says to Paddy, "Hey, Paddy, you're drunk again." He says, "Why are you saying that?" He says, "'Cause you live next door." Drink, drink, drink to Lily the pink, the saviour of the human race. She invented medicinal compound, efficacious in every case. Now Mr. Flea is as sticky as he is, and they made him awful shy, so they gave him medicinal compound, and now he's learning how to fly. There's a little blind fella sitting on the streets in Dublin when I was there last. I walked along and he's got a little hat in front of him and he's sitting there, money for the blind, please, a little sign. So I went over there and I flicked a couple of euros into his hat, but they bounced out, and one rolled down the street and the other rolled out onto the road. Well, the little fella jumped up with a start. He charges out there into the footpath and he picks one up. He runs out into the middle of the road, dodges all the traffic, come back, and he puts them back in his hat. I said, "Hang on a minute there. Now you're supposed to be blind, aren't you?" He says, "Oh, yes." He says, "I'm only sitting in for Murphy while he's at the movies." It's so nice to have you here, Seamus O'Sparky, all the way from County Cork, from Potatoeville, and it's lovely. You're going to sing a little song now. Yes, it's shut up and let me sing it. It's a lot of fun to tickle Mary. It's a lot of fun, I know. It's a lot of fun to tickle Mary. She's the best girl in my show, and everyone says I'm silly. Hey, that's just a little unfair. I just love to tickle Mary, and Mary doesn't care. Oi!